The corridor of the Starship hummed under the soft pulse of artificial gravity. I pressed my back to the cool metal wall, wincing as the echo of distant engines reverberated through my chest. My mission had gone sideways, terribly sideways, and now I was bleeding from a gash along my side, my blaster useless and my communicator fractured beyond repair. Panic clawed at my ribs, but I forced myself to breathe. A light shimmered at the end of the hallway, a soft green glow that pulsed in rhythm with the ship's heartbeat. I limped toward it, each step heavier than the last, until I reached the source, the entrance to the alien medical quarters. The door slid open silently before I could knock. A figure stood in the middle of the room, lithe and ethereal, her skin glistening like molten silver under the bioluminescent panels. She was taller than most humans, her limbs gracefully elongated, and her eyes glowed faintly, a deep amber that seemed to pierce through the layers of my fear. "Come," she said in a voice that resonated in my chest rather than my ears. It wasn't a demand. It was a command I couldn't resist. Before I knew it, she had reached out, her hand grazing my arm, and I felt a strange pull, as though gravity itself favored her. I stumbled into her quarters, the door closing behind me with a whisper. The room smelled faintly of ozone and something floral, an aroma I didn't recognize but found soothing. She gestured for me to sit on a reclining chair, and I obeyed, still dazed from the pull she seemed to have exerted over me. Without touching me yet, she raised her hands, palms open, and soft lights began to flicker across the air between us. They shimmered like liquid fire, weaving intricate patterns that made my chest tighten with awe. "I can heal you," she said, "but you must be willing to let go of your fear." I hesitated. My fear wasn't just about the gash or the danger outside these walls. It was about her. Something in her presence was unsettling, intimate, and utterly alien. Yet, exhaustion and pain won over hesitation. "Do it," I whispered. The air around me seemed to thicken. A gentle warmth emanated from her hands as the lights danced closer, wrapping around my body. Pain didn't vanish, it transformed. Sharp stabs along my ribs became a dull hum, the kind of discomfort that promised endurance rather than agony. I felt my strength returning, not just physically but in a way I couldn't explain, as though she was infusing me with something deeper than medicine. When she finally touched my side, her fingers passed over the wound without pressure, and I felt it seal beneath her hand. A cold shock ran through me, then a warmth that lingered. My communicator hummed back to life, static-filled but functional. I blinked, unable to comprehend the speed of my recovery. She studied me then, her amber eyes almost human in their curiosity. "You do not understand what you are dealing with," she said softly. "Not just the mission, not just your species. This ship carries secrets that will consume you if you face them unprepared." I swallowed hard, trying to piece together what she meant. "Then why help me?" asked my voice rough. A hint of a smile curved her lips, though her face remained serene, unreadable. "Because you are part of it now. And because you were open enough to let me touch what I cannot in many others." Her words carried weight, and the undercurrent of meaning left me uneasy. I wanted to ask more, but she didn't give me the chance. She stepped closer, and the glow around her intensified, brushing against my vision, filling the room with a spectral haze. "There are things humans cannot bear to hear, yet they must. And you are not ready for lies. But you are ready for truth, if you survive the next step." "What truth?" I breathed, though the tremor in my voice betrayed both fear and fascination. Her gaze softened, almost imperceptibly. "I am not just a healer," she admitted. "I am the guardian of memories long lost, of knowledge your kind is not meant to hold. My species has hidden it for centuries, and now it has chosen you to see what others cannot. I wanted to laugh in disbelief, wanted to shake my head and convince myself I was hallucinating. But the sincerity in her amber eyes rooted me to the chair. I realized then that whatever lay ahead would alter the trajectory of my life, or perhaps all lives aboard this ship. I can show you, she continued, but only if you trust me completely. Trust. The word tasted foreign in my mouth, yet something inside me responded instinctively. I nodded, unable to articulate why. My fear had not disappeared, but a curious courage replaced it. She raised her hands once more, and the lights flared brighter. Suddenly, visions unfolded before me. Celestial maps of planets I had never heard of, histories of civilizations erased from every record, and flashes of events I could barely comprehend. My mind reeled, but she guided me, each revelation tempered by a calm hand and the rhythmic hum of the ship. Minutes, or was it hours, passed. When she finally lowered her hands, the glow faded, leaving only the soft light of the quarters. I was trembling, not from pain but from the enormity of what I had just witnessed. You must choose your next path carefully, she said, her voice now almost intimate, a whisper that echoed in my mind. The knowledge you carry is both a gift and a curse. Guard it well and it may save you. Abuse it, and it will consume you. I struggled to find words, but none came. I simply nodded, my throat tight, heart pounding, and mind racing with the impossible truths she had revealed. She turned, moving to the doorway, her figure dissolving into the corridor's green light. Remember, she called over her shoulder, the universe watches more than it tells. I remained in the chair long after she disappeared, the hum of the ship around me now a lullaby and a warning. My wounds were gone, but the questions she planted would linger forever. One thing was certain, nothing would ever feel ordinary again.